let me welcome you to my channel. Before we begin the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this post. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H married in real life in October 2003. However, they tied the knot on screen about 4 years earlier as the game tricked an unconscious billion-dollar princess into marrying him in a drive-thru ceremony in Las Vegas as part of a storyline. Vince McMahon's daughter, who was supposed to marry Test in the storyline, headed to DX's locker room to confront Triple H on the December 6, 1999 episode of Raw and asked him to sign their annulment papers. After X-Pac made an inappropriate remark to Stephanie, the King of Kings told him to mind his words. The billion-dollar princess then told Triple H that she was appealing to him as a human being to sign the papers, claiming that he had ruined her life. Nevertheless, the cerebral assassin did not sign the papers. Instead, he made inappropriate requests to an upset Stephanie, who then left the room. Despite initially asking Triple H to sign the annulment papers, Stephanie McMahon later betrayed her father and sided with the game, establishing the McMahon-Helmsley era. However, the couple's on-screen relationship had a dramatic ending in 2002. Upon Triple H's return from injury, Stephanie lied to him about being pregnant, as she felt he was leaving her. The couple then agreed to have a vow renewal ceremony on the February 11, 2002 episode of Raw. Before heading to the ring, the game received a call from his mother-in-law, Linda McMahon, in which she told him that her daughter was lying to him about the pregnancy. Instead of renewing their vows, the ceremony ended with the former world heavyweight champion telling Stephanie that their marriage was over. He also took out his father-in-law, Vince McMahon, and pushed the 48-year-old to the ground before throwing his wedding band at her. In later years, the King of Kings and the billion-dollar princess acknowledged their real-life relationship as they appeared together again on WWE TV. The love story of Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, two of the most influential figures in the history of professional wrestling, is well known within the WWE Universe. Their relationship began as a scripted storyline in the late 1990s, but what started as fiction soon evolved into a real-life romance. Together, they've become a powerful force both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, helping to shape the future of WWE. However, like many long-term relationships, theirs has had its share of ups and downs, some of which have been intense enough to bring their marriage to the brink of collapse. In one particularly dramatic moment, Stephanie McMahon reportedly told Triple H, "I'm serious. You've ruined my life," expressing a desire to end their marriage. This revelation shocked fans, as the McMahon-Helmsley union had long been seen as rock solid, with the two appearing not only as a power couple, but as best friends who complemented each other's strengths and balanced out each other's weaknesses. But as with any relationship, especially one in the high-pressure world of WWE, there were moments when cracks in the foundation appeared. Stephanie's feelings of resentment and disillusionment were a stark reminder that even the strongest partnerships can be tested by stress, misunderstandings, and the weight of balancing personal and professional lives. To understand why Stephanie McMahon might have reached such a breaking point, it's important to go back to the beginning of their relationship. In 1999, WWE Creative decided to pair Stephanie and Triple H, real name Paul Levesque, in an on-screen relationship. At the time, Triple H was one of the most dominant figures in the WWE, while Stephanie was starting to find her footing in the family business. The storyline saw Triple H, in a shocking twist, marry Stephanie in a Las Vegas wedding that neither Vince McMahon nor the WWE Universe saw coming. As their on-screen chemistry grew, so did their real-life connection. Their romance blossomed behind the scenes, and it quickly became clear to both of them and to those around them that this was more than just a fling. By 2003, they were married in real life, and over the years, they welcomed 3 daughters into their family. On the surface, it seemed like the perfect fairy tale ending two WWE royalty figures coming together to dominate the industry, both professionally and personally. What many fans often forget is the immense pressure that comes with living in the spotlight, especially for someone like Stephanie McMahon, who not only represents one of the most famous wrestling dynasties, but also took on executive roles in WWE, alongside Triple H, who transitioned from one of the top in-ring performers to a key figure in WWE's corporate strategy. They both carried immense responsibility. This level of commitment can take a toll on any marriage, as personal time often blurs with professional obligations, making it difficult to distinguish between the two. WWE, under the leadership of Vince McMahon, has always been a high-octane, cutthroat environment where the stakes are high and the hours are long. Both Stephanie and Triple H have dedicated their lives to WWE, often at the expense of their personal lives. Late nights, constant travel, and the perpetual pressure to innovate in an industry that's always evolving can leave little time for personal reflection or quality time as a couple. It's no surprise that the relentless pace of WWE life would eventually lead to tensions in their marriage. The breaking point reportedly came during one of the most challenging times in their relationship. Sources close to the couple have mentioned that their individual commitments to WWE had begun to take a toll on their marriage. Stephanie, in particular, felt overwhelmed by the expectations placed on her not only as Vince McMahon's daughter, but also as a high-ranking executive in her own right. There were periods when Stephanie felt as though her identity had been swallowed up by her roles in WWE, both as an on-screen character and as an executive. This frustration reportedly came to a head when Stephanie confronted Triple H, telling him, "I'm serious. You've ruined my life." It was a moment of raw vulnerability, one that stemmed from years of compounded stress and the overwhelming pressure of being a McMahon and a key figure in WWE's corporate structure. She felt that the balance of power in their relationship, particularly in regard to WWE, had shifted too much towards their professional lives, leaving little room for the personal connection they once shared. For Stephanie, her entire life had become entwined with WWE, first as Vince McMahon's daughter, then as a performer, and eventually as an executive. But it wasn't just her professional life that was tied up in the company. Her marriage to Triple H only solidified that bond. The weight of this reality hit her hard. The line between personal and professional had become so blurred that it began to affect her sense of identity, leading her to question whether she could ever separate her love for Paul from her duties in WWE. In any relationship, moments of crisis can either lead to a breaking point or become a turning point. For Stephanie and Triple H, this moment of honesty proved to be a critical juncture. Rather than let the situation deteriorate, they chose to confront their issues head-on. Both had to acknowledge that their marriage was suffering because they were prioritizing their professional responsibilities over their personal relationship. It became clear that the sacrifices they were making for WWE were costing them the intimacy and connection that had once been the foundation of their relationship. Triple H, known for his relentless drive in both his in-ring career and his executive role, reportedly took Stephanie's words to heart. While it would have been easy for him to dismiss her concerns as just another moment of stress, he recognized that something deeper was at play. For Stephanie to feel so defeated that she would contemplate ending their marriage meant that changes needed to be made, not just in their relationship, but in the way they approached their professional lives. The aftermath of that emotional confrontation marked a new chapter in their marriage. Stephanie and Triple H made a conscious effort to prioritize their relationship over their work, finding ways to reconnect as a couple rather than as business partners. This meant carving out time away from WWE, being present with their children, and rediscovering the personal bond that had initially brought them together. One significant change came in the way they managed their professional responsibilities. Triple H, who had taken on increasing duties within WWE's developmental program, NXT, began delegating more of his workload, allowing him to spend more time with his family. Stephanie, too, found ways to strike a healthier balance between her executive role and her personal life, ensuring that the pressure of WWE didn't entirely consume her identity. They also leaned on their shared faith, with both Stephanie and Triple H being open about the role that religion plays in their lives. By focusing on their core values and re-establishing the foundation of their marriage, they were able to move forward stronger than before. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H's marriage has become a testament to the strength of their bond, not only as partners in business, but as life partners. While their journey hasn't been without its challenges, the moments of crisis they faced, like the one where Stephanie felt that her life had been ruined, have ultimately brought them closer together.